What's going on, fam? This is Conspiracy Couch, where we will be talking about parallel realities and Alone in 2027. I am not sure any platforms that we're up on right now because I toggled twice on Restream and nothing showed online. So can you guys let me know out in the chat? I'm sure if we are live on YouTube, it's another link now.
It is another link. We are up on YouTube now on a different link. We are up on Foxhole on a different link. Let me go check DLive. We are up on DLive. I don't know about Twitch. But...
All right. So it looks like we're up on all the platforms, guys. Restream did not inform me that we were, and I toggled again. So I'm sorry about that. If you guys over on YouTube could help the other people on YouTube find the link to the new stream, that would be fantastic. Sorry about that rough start, guys. Good to see you. What's going on, T-Roy? It's good to see you, fam. Teasinger, First Branch, what's going on? Morning Flower, Lucy in the Sky, Patricia Saradol, LA Addicts, Fearless, First and Only Toon Kid, Mountain Dreams. Good to see you guys. I'm glad you guys are finding your way over. What's going on, Tom Ford? Yeah, a little bit of a rough start, man. What are we going to do about Restream? It does that way too often.
Apparently, Prism. We're going to have to figure out the whole Prism thing.
Yeah, we might just have to do that.
Hey, Amy Jo. Oh,
Amy.
Thank you.
No, come on now. Thank you, Amy Jo. That's so sweet of you.
We love you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, Tyler says the other link must be in a parallel reality. Clearly, that is exactly what happened here today.
They're always after us. I want to see a big thank you to Karen Hare over on Cash App from the donation last night. On YouTube, Samantha, Jenny Callie, and FZ. Over on DLive, Coys, Morning Flower, Duppy Montana, Mossdog07, US Anon, Steve Y, and Patricia. Patricia? How do you say her name? I don't even know. But hey, it happens.
Thank you.
Yeah, so here we are, man. We're going to be discussing parallel realities. And this gentleman that claims he is stuck in a parallel reality in the year 2027. Some interesting... We'll present it all to you guys and let you kind of form your own opinion about it, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I'm a firm believer in the parallel realities. Now, if Homeboy's actually in another parallel reality posting to TikTok in 2021, I don't know. We'll let you guys
kind of
be the
magic,
judge.
Right?
We'll let you guys be the judge of that. But yes, it is very interesting to say the least. What's going on, Fringe Dweller, Laura Y, Delphinus. Pilled by the Rabbit. Yes, Sakori, I saw you out there with your dank memes. Dank truck stop memes. Right, Delphinius.
Yes.
Thank you for the correction. Appreciate it.
Dank truck stop memes. That sounds great. Like great fun.
Yeah, they're already coming.
We know how you feel about truck stops, right? What up, Shroomin' Beans? Good to see you. Yeah, thanks, Fearless, for putting that link on Telegram. We appreciate you.
Leyland.
Hey, Pilled by the Rabbit.
Dude Man 76.
Dude, man.
You know this guy? Tom Ford, are you serious? You really know this dude? You really know the guy? So is it... He says he knows the guy.
Oh, Javier, you know the guy?
You better call in, Tom Ford. We need
you
to hear
better
about
call in
this.
and tell us all about it, right?
What's going on, Crazy Eyes 999? Nancy Lucky, good to see you. Good to see you. Beck 77. iGod TV. What's going on, man?
Hey, fam. Yeah, we gotta talk to you.
Yeah, we do gotta talk to you. Now that we finally got ourselves together.
Yes.
Back in our groove here. So definitely got to talk to you.
Oh, so glad to see you here.
Yeah, so parallel realities, man. It's a thing.
There is some scientific basis for this. Like, I know a lot, like, we've got like the woo, it's just not mainstream. Then we've got like ultra woo. So we're going to start with just some basic woo here. There is some scientific basis for the notion of parallel realities, which, we've talked before about the multiverse, the idea that string theory posits that there are infinite parallel realities. And a parallel reality is just a singular instance from the multiverse. And some of them could be extremely similar to what we are experiencing. Some of them could be totally different. Thank God we've got some really succinct explanation for you here.
Thank you, Sean Joe, coming with the cookie, and Morning Flower with the 117 gold pills. Last night's show was awesome. Love you, ladies, and your giggles. Thank you, Morning Flower. We aim to please. We're here to amuse you.
What up, Rise? Thanks for the can.
Right? Thank you.
Woo
Yes, the woo
intensifies.
is going to intensify. All right, so should we jump
Hey,
straight
Max.
in? Should we jump straight into? I'm so excited, by the way, this weekend. I might as well bring it up since I just saw them. They made me remember. So we are having a Foxhole meetup at Cantina 76 in Greenville, South Carolina at 1 p.m. I know that Maxanon, Rise Attire, me, Foil, Brooks Agnew, First Branch, and a few other people will be attending that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely, if you're in the area, come and check that out. Hang out and eat tacos with us, man. They even found a place that has veggie tacos for me. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, First Branch was like, I didn't want you to have to eat beans. And I'm like, thanks, friend. That was cool. Because
That was
I
very
would have ate beans just to be with my friends and watch them eat tacos. But that's cool. Like, I get veggies now, so we're winning. All right, so should we jump into it? Let's start out with the science of parallel realities. How about that? Yeah?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Let's do it, man. Oh, here we go. If I could find the mouse. Yeah.
Loves the idea of parallel universes. Maybe it's the appeal of an ideal world where you have second chances and things turn out differently. An alternate reality where you do get into Hogwarts and the Star Wars prequels aren't made and you finally plug in your asymmetric computer code correctly on the first try. But is there really a place in science for such wistful speculation? I mean, if the universe is everything that there is, you can't have two versions of it, right? Otherwise, the pair would really be everything and what you started off calling the universe wasn't. The problem here is terminology. Physicists speaking informally often say universe when they really mean observable universe. That is, the part of the whole universe that we've so far been able to see. And it's perfectly fine to talk about multiple different observable universes. For example, an alien near the edge of our observable universe will see parts of the whole universe that we can't yet see because the light hasn't had time to reach us yet. But that's a well-understood question and not what physicists normally talk about when they discuss multiple observable universes or multiverses. So let's cut to the chase. In physics, the word multiverse normally refers to one of three distinct and largely unrelated proposed physical models for the universe, none of which has been tested or confirmed by experiment, by the way. The three multiverse models are Type 1, bubble universes or baby black hole universes. This is the most straightforward kind of multiverse. The basic idea is that perhaps there are other parts of the universe which are so far away that we will never see them, or are inside black holes, so similarly we will never see them. This kind of model was created as an attempt to explain why our universe is so good at making stars and galaxies and black holes and life. As the argument goes, if each of these separate mutually unseeable bubbles in the universe had slightly different laws of physics, then by definition we could only exist in one that had the right physical laws to allow us to exist. Like, we have to live in a universe where the Earth could form, because if the Earth couldn't form, then we couldn't be here. If you're not convinced by this logic, don't worry too much. There's not yet any experimental evidence for this kind of multiverse. Multiverse Type 2. Membranes and extra dimensions. Inspired in part by the inability of the mathematics of string theory to predict the right number of dimensions for the universe we observe, string theorists proposed the idea that perhaps what we think of as our universe is actually just a three-dimensional surface embedded within a larger super-universe with 9 spatial dimensions. Kind of like how each page of a newspaper is its own two-dimensional surface embedded within our three-dimensional world. And of course, if space had 9 dimensions rather than 3, there'd be plenty of space for other three-dimensional surfaces that appeared, like ours, to be universes in their own right, but, like the pages of a newspaper, were actually part of a bigger whole. These kinds of surfaces are called membranes, or branes for short, and as a reminder, there is not yet any experimental evidence for this kind of multiverse. Multiverse Type 3, the many worlds picture of quantum mechanics. Surprisingly, physicists still don't fully understand how the collapse of the wave function in quantum mechanics happens, and the many worlds hypothesis makes an attempt at explanation by proposing that every possible alternate timeline for the universe is real, and they all happen in an ever larger, ever-branching way. Like a universal choose-your-own-adventure where every possible story happens. If this were the case, we might not realize it because we'd be stuck living out just one of the infinitely many possible lives available to us. In some ways, Many Worlds is similar to the bubble multiverse model by proposing maybe anything that can happen does, and we just happen to exist in a series of happenings that were necessary for us to exist. If you're still not convinced by this logic, don't worry, there's not yet any experimental evidence for this kind of multiverse. Of course, if you want to get imaginative, you could also combine several of these models together into a multi-multiverse, a new super speculative model based itself on speculative and experimentally unconfirmed models. But that's not to say that we couldn't test these multiverse hypotheses. For example, if our observable universe were really just one of many disconnected bubbles or membranes, and if it happened to collide with another bubble or membrane sometime in the past, then that collision would certainly have had some sort of effect on what we see when we look up at the night sky. On the other hand, the many worlds interpretation might be tested fairly soon, since experimentalists are becoming increasingly able to manipulate and control ever larger quantum mechanical systems in their labs, systems that approach the line between the quantum realm and our everyday experience. So as always, we must remember that physics is science, not philosophy, and in our attempts to explain the universe that we observe, we have to make claims that can in principle be tested, and then test them.
Yeah, man.
So here's the thing. Now, obviously, like, I subscribe to the many worlds variation of the multiverse theory, but I know that, like, you have, like, Alara, you're particularly interested in the whole secret space program, and they've talked about bubble universes or pocket universes, which I don't know that one necessarily, I don't know that they're mutually exclusive. Like, who's to say there can't be a pocket universe within the many worlds variation of the multiverse? We don't know yet. And this video that we just watched is just a good primer. It gives you kind of a good idea of what the theories are. When they say there's no experimental evidence for these things, now this video was made not too long ago, but before there actually was some experimental evidence gathered that does seem to indicate that there could entirely, it's entirely potential for there to be legitimate parallel universes. And the important thing is that the math starts to work out when you take different theories into account, like string theory, right? And I'm not going to get into the whole fundamentals of that, but basically there are little vibrating strings inside of quarks that can create, that make this multiverse a theoretical possibility. And this is what they're working on. And I know a lot of people like to hate on string theory. I don't know exactly.
What do you think about string theory? Well,
personally, I think that there's a high probability that this is the case. Right now, I am not a theoretical or particle physicist. Not an expert, but from what I understand and from what I've read, it makes a lot of sense to me. And it also helps to explain a lot of just the different shit that we don't have, explanations for that occur, right? Just the many variations. Like, I tend to believe that if something can happen, it will happen, right? Whether we see the results of that or not. And I mean, this goes back to, like, if you just think of the old school thought experiment, like, we just start with Schrodinger's cat, right? Schrodinger's cat. For those of you that are not familiar, cat in a box, poison in the box, right? And depending on the state of the poison, the cat is either alive or dead or both, right? And as we get a better understanding of quantum physics, as they are starting to really understand the level of the quantum, we're getting more experimental data from places like CERN, our understanding of the probabilities here grows. And recently, NASA even jumped in. Now I think we talked before on Space Force News about CERN having gravity leakage from what they thought was either another dimension or parallel reality. Okay, and that's been a while ago, right? But last year there was a story that was actually kind of big, and of course, everything was Rona, so we didn't get a lot of coverage on this.
Rona. Mm-hmm.
Right? So last year NASA had come out with some data that one of the highly probable explanations for was that there was a parallel reality very similar to ours, in which it would appear from our perspective that time was actually running backwards. Which sounds crazy, right? Now this, remember, everything that we test is from our perspective. So, if, say, there is this parallel reality where we think it looks like time is running backwards, they would think the same thing of our reality. It's all about perspective.
Right.
Okay? If that makes any sense at all.
Should we roll the video?
Roll that beautiful bean footage, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
was one of the scientific sensations of the year 2020. For the first time, evidence was presented for the existence of a parallel universe. As though that weren't enough, the universe was described precisely. It is said to have originated at the same time as our universe and to be a direct mirror of it. That means that, from our point of view, time runs backwards in the parallel universe. If you assume this theory comes from unserious, tinfoil hattists or conspiracy theorists, you're wrong. Because none other than NASA scientists have presented this sensational thesis. In this video, we'll give you all the information you need to understand the theory of the parallel universe running backwards. If you like our videos, feel free to support us with a thumbs up, subscribe to Simply Space, and stay tuned for more fascinating videos in the future.
We gotta start
Origin of the
linking
universe
these
in
videos.
detail. You would have to be a
Shout them
particle
out.
or astrophysicist. In all brevity, simply summarized, in time immemorial, there was very densely compressed matter. Then, there was a huge event, called the Big Bang, in which those tiny particles that make up the entire universe developed from this mass within a very short time frame. These coalesced into larger formations and our universe originated. Since this moment, the universe has been in a state of enlargement. That is, it is constantly expanding. The time span in which the universe developed is enormous. For example, it is said to have taken over 380,000 years for the particles to evolve to the point of being observable. This was followed by a seemingly infinite time of slow development. Our solar system originated a relatively short time ago, and is, in the meantime, more than 4 billion years old. To the theory of the parallel universes. As early as antiquity, philosophers wondered if our known universe was the only one. However, theories did not become more concrete until the 20th century with increasing development of physical research. Specifically, researchers speak of parallel, namely the hypothetical existence of an infinite number of universes similar to ours. This is in fact the only way otherwise inexplicable physical realities can be meaningfully resolved. A single one of these universes is called a parallel universe. The total or infinite number of universes is called a multiverse. These theories are mainly used in the fields of quantum and astrophysics. How these parallel worlds might look is usually the topic of philosophical considerations. It is assumed that there is an infinite number of universes and that all of them have their own specific laws and natural parameters. If one assumes that our universe is the only one that exists, it would be the result of an incredibly improbable stroke of luck. Such conditions as ours are given in only the smallest percentage of all possible universes. Paradoxically, it helps if one assumes infinitely many universes have met exactly this lucky case. Then, it's less improbable that we exist in one. These considerations are used as one of the most important arguments for the existence of parallel worlds. In addition, physical calculations have shown that further universes are not impossible, and only the impossible can actually be ruled out. NASA's current experiments. Let's return to the starting point. At the beginning of this video, we told you that NASA scientists have found possible evidence for a parallel universe. It's now worth taking a look at the experiments that led to this conclusion. At the center of attention is the Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna, or ANITA project. This is operated by the University of Hawaii in collaboration with NASA. As the name suggests, the research is taking place in Antarctica. With the help of helium balloons, special radio antennas are brought up more than 20 miles above the Earth's surface to take measurements. Specifically, the focus is on inconspicuous tiny particles called neutrinos. Antarctica was chosen because the air there is free of interfering radio waves and radiation of any kind, which makes the measurements there more meaningful. The measurement of neutrinos is so interesting because they occur in large quantities everywhere in the universe. In addition, smaller and larger neutrinos can be distinguished. The smallest particles can move through all matter, which is why they can reach us extremely easily from the outer reaches of space. The larger ones, on the other hand, are stopped by matter and can therefore be used as a tool to locate planets. The usual measurements of the ANITA project thus include particles which come from space and smash into the Earth, producing short radio flashes. In addition to the neutrinos, numerous differently charged particles are measured, which also hit the Earth and thus produce radiation. The striking results of the ANITA studies. At an altitude of over 20 miles, these particles can be measured racing from space towards the Earth. They clearly move from top to bottom. Of course, they are joined by neutrinos which travel from bottom to top. This is because the smallest of the neutrinos are known to move through matter and can therefore pass through the Earth. What is impossible, however, are larger neutrinos, so-called tau neutrinos, that move from the bottom to the top, because these would have to pass through the Earth. But exactly this event could be measured several times during the ANITA studies. The importance of these measurements. In rare cases, these high-energy tau neutrinos can cross matter. However, for this to happen, a strikingly large number of these particles would have to be traveling at the same moment, which could be triggered by a black hole, for example. If this were the case, however, other measuring stations would have to make similar observations, which was indeed checked and excluded. What remains as a possible explanation? There are two overarching possibilities. On the one hand, it could be a hitherto unknown form of neutrinos, for example, the discovery of new physical particles. On the other hand, there could be a problem somewhere in the complex system of measurements. For instance, the thick ice surface could have previously undreamt of effects, or the work was simply faulty. Back to the theory of the parallel universe. Only later was a third theory also published. This one is related to a paper on parallel universes presented in 2018. Within, researchers briefly summarized that physical processes are also theoretically correct if time as well as parity in charge are mirrored. From this follows that there is indeed the mathematically and physically correct possibility of a so-called mirror universe. In this universe, everything can run exactly like in our universe, only backwards and mirrored. That means that this universe, seen from our perspective, runs backwards in time. Seen from the point of view of this universe, of course, everything would be exactly the other way around. There, we would be the ones who move backwards in time. If particles are detected coming from an impossible direction, it could be that they come from exactly this reversed universe. Instead of flying towards the Earth, they race backwards through space and time. So do the ANITA measurements now prove the existence of a parallel universe? The simple answer is no. It's not clear evidence for an existing parallel universe. Of course, this statement is followed by a but. ANITA measurements cannot be explained in any physical and mathematically correct way so far. The only concept which works with the results is that of the mirror universe. Assuming that the measurements are correct and that all factors influencing them have been taken into account to the full extent, there are only two logical possibilities. First, it is possible that new particles have been discovered, or that a previously unknown behavior has been documented. This would result in a massive change in theoretical physics. Of course, it is equally possible that we simply do not yet know the physical law that explains these measurements. But this would also result in groundbreaking changes within the world of physics. Secondly, the alternative is that there is indeed a parallel mirror universe, and that it's possible for the smallest particles to switch between these universes. This is the only way to explain with current knowledge why upward flying particles were measured at a place where it shouldn't be possible. This would prove to be unbelievable progress within the physical sciences, but it's necessary to trace the matter more precisely with further measurements. Before you rejoice too early, even if scientists succeed in proving the existence of a mirrored parallel universe, it will be impossible from today's point of view to travel to it or to explore. Your inverted twin from another world will therefore remain pure fiction. We remain nevertheless curious for what fantastic discoveries further research in these areas will reveal. Who knows, maybe we'll experience the exploration of undreamt of worlds and entire universes. What's your opinion on the subject? Do you believe in the existence of an infinite number of parallel universes? Do you think it's possible that during the Big Bang, a mirrored image of our universe was actually created? One that travels backwards through time? And is this really confirmed by the Anita measurements?
You remember that conversation we were having this morning, Foyle? Remember about physical reality and stuff? It's to experience separation from Prime Creator. I mean, I don't know, that just hit me. That's the point of it. You know, how we were trying to arrive at what was the point of this whole...
Yeah, I mean, I agree to explore the notion of free will, independent thought, you know,
right.
Separation, not complete and total separation, though.
Right.
That's something different.
But enough of a veil and enough of a separation where you're lost, basically. And you got to find your way whilst experiencing that separation from the creator, right? So, go ahead.
Well, Tyler said they haven't found a way to make important information exciting yet. Yes, this is true. I know a lot of you guys were joking about the video. Yes, I know, but there's good information in there. And yes, I do think Spock probably has a beard in this other universe. It must be so, right? What else? And as far as pockets, as far as facts go, man, yes, this is all theoretical. I mean, this is all theoretical. And like Tyler said, I mean, facts are only, you know, what enough people agreed upon, I suppose. So, well, but it's interesting to consider.
Remember we covered a few weeks ago on Space Force News, the 3D printing, the faxing into, you know, that we talked about faxing into a parallel reality, right?
Right.
And there's actually sauce on that, like coming out in the mainstream right now, guys.
Yeah,
like,
they are getting more and more experimental data that this is probable. Okay, I'm not, and we're not
like
here
to
say
they could fax you.
Yeah,
over there.
They could send information, you know, encoded information somewhere else. I mean, like I said, there was the gravity leakage at CERN that they found. Like, there are things that point in this direction. Now, obviously, we don't have a definitive on this yet, but I tend to believe that. And as far as like the Big Bang, I saw somebody, I think maybe it was Pockets. Like, I tend to follow the big bounce idea. That it, you know, it expands so far, and then at a point it comes back around and collapses, and then does it again and again and again. And I don't know that there ever was a point where there was nothing.
Collapsing the waveform. That's exactly what it is. If you think about it, right? All of creation's a wave. We see examples of that all around us, right? So it's just the wave collapses and it, you know what I mean? That's what the big bounce is, essentially.
And then re-expands.
It follows the pattern
pressure,
of,
and then it re-expands and does it again and again and again and again. And maybe there was never a point of nothingness. I mean, I don't know. None of us know. You know, none of us know any of that for sure.
Pay grade. Yeah, but I think if there's mainstream articles coming out discussing this whole faxing people into a, you know, that I think we already have it. You know how I think we're already faxing people into parallel realities, right? They're just not public about it. But you know, if this is leaking in the mainstream at this point, this is something we can already do. I'd be willing to bet money on that.
Well, I mean, they're definitely giving it a go. You know.
Yeah.
But the whole point of all of this was, you know, I mean, obviously we want to know your thoughts on parallel realities, but there was something interesting that came out, and I don't know how, you know, I don't know how.
What was that? Did you hear that?
No, do tell. Is it acting up again?
It sounded like somebody was jumping on the ceiling just now.
Well, Alara, you already know what it is with this house. Like, I don't know.
That was wild. You didn't hear that?
Mm-mm.
Wow. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. It gets weird around here, guys. It gets super weird. Yep.
It does.
I've got the, I've got the ship connection, and Foyle's got the ghost connection. Between the two of us, it gets weird. It gets super weird sometimes.
The house is haunted, guys. We've
You know what's funny?
discussed this at length.
I went out there this morning. I think it was your brother. Somebody was out there, and this little car came by, and it had a little blinking light on the top. It was really funny, and the mood caught me right. I said, "Look, it's an unidentified driving object." Anyway, your brother laughed. They thought it was funny.
Oh, he was here?
They got the joke. Yeah, I think that was your brother. I hope that was your brother. I'm not sure. I talk to strangers at random sometimes. Yeah, I mean, if it was a stranger, still, it's, that's something I would do. Like, it really didn't matter if I knew the person or not, but,
Right.
So, yeah, so where were we? Sorry about that. But yeah, I thought.
Wait. Pocket says your roof was expanding and collapsing. I love this channel. And we love you. My house, I actually had the State Paranormal Society had to come in here and do readings and take measurements. Whether you believe this is all shenanigans or not. I mean, they got EVPs. Yeah. I mean, they're like, I don't know if you believe in mediums, but the woman knew immediately some things. It just, the house is haunted. The house has been haunted since I moved into it. Like, it's, yes, Max. It gets a little weird in here. Hey, White Hat. He says there was nothing
Laura.
until God created the universe. I feel you.
What does IMO mean?
In my opinion.
In my opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we won't get into the creation topic. So where let's jump to 2027. But I mean, that's what. Okay, we'll just leave the creation topic alone right now. But yeah, I think it's going to be great when we get the actual science of creation. Like, that's my fascination, man. That's my jam, is like, I try to understand. I know we have a creator. I've experienced this. So I try to find a way to describe it. That's the books that I read, everything that I do is trying to find a way to, I don't know, what's the word, Foyle, to try to describe God in scientific terms. This is constantly my mission, right? So I'm always looking for the science to describe something that I've experienced.
As best we can with what we have. Because I do firmly believe there are some things that we are just not going to know, not meant to know, and as far as like I know what the Bible says about form and void and that there was darkness or whatever, right. But I mean, this, maybe that was before the whole bounce. Who knows?
Or maybe we just don't, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It just seems to make sense to me.
Right. I think, I don't know, I'd be trying to decode the Bible, man. And, like, I know, I understand, like, that's one of my things too, is decoding the Bible and other books and comparing them and trying to figure out, but I really am like a firm believer that the Bible's like a thing to unlock. Like, it's based on frequency, I think. Because I know in my experience when I was younger, and I didn't understand none of it. Like, none of it. I couldn't even listen to it, right? But now I see things speak to me through the words in the Bible, right? And I think it's because I've had a consciousness shift. My frequency has changed. So my ability to perceive the data contained in, that book, it's growing, right? And maybe that's how it works. I don't know. These are just my crazy random thoughts. And we know that Alara has a lot of crazy random thoughts. I'm very good at crazy random thoughts. All right, so we need to get into Javier and 2027.
Hold on now. I want to just.
Yes,
Hakan says, "Have you listened to Philip K. Dick's press conference from the late 1970s in France? We should pull this and watch this on this channel." He says there he explains that most of the fiction books he wrote were not really fiction, but memories from another reality. It's a good point.
Go ahead, Bo.
Oh no, I was just going to go to the 2027 thing since
Okay,
But
let's
go
do
ahead.
that.
What do you think?
So I'm at two. We don't need to go into what I think anymore. That can get deep. So so are we set it to start at 2:02, or should I go to the beginning of this show to start it there?
I don't remember. I mean, the whole video is talking about
The whole video.
So there's
okay.
a guy. Yeah, there's a guy named Javier. And Tom Ford, if you're still watching and you really know this dude, we want you to call in when we're done. But so this guy started posting last year videos that he says, and we are not saying this is true. As a matter of fact, I've been watching them, trying to just debunk them myself. My house is buffering, right? He says he woke up and he's alone in the world. And I think James LaFleur from the Impossible Channel did a really good job kind of getting Alara?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the screen was glitching. You were
No.
just frozen for a moment.
I was just doing something while you were talking. Go ahead. Yeah, just don't even trip when I close my eyes for a minute. I'm just.
The screen, I was like, glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, no, I was still here, friend. No, I was still here. I was just talking with other beings besides the chat and you at the moment.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
Gotcha. Yeah, so James LaFleur did a really good job on the Impossible
Puts me
Channel,
on
kind
blast
of breaking
like that. Look at
kind of breaking this guy's story down, and we want to share that video with you too. And then we'll look at a couple of his videos, and then we're going to take some calls. But yeah.
All right,
So
let's check it.
Check it out.
Let's check out Javier. Let's roll. Let's roll.
Right.
Reality. At
What is all
first,
this?
questions like these sound
Glitches.
kind of strange. However, if you take into consideration the fast
Maybe
pace
that's
at
why I
which
had
humans are
202, I don't
evolving
remember.
technologically, it doesn't sound that impossible.
So the
Better
theory
lately.
follows that
Micro nap.
maybe we're in
What's
the
up?
simulation.
The odds that we're in base
My
reality
favorite
is 1
Canadian
in
vegan.
billions.
Time travel has been the subject of so many
Say it,
movies.
Elon.
Is it really truly a possibility?
Not only is it a possibility, but we've actually already taken the baby steps, and we can actually move things into the future.
Take a look at this video posted by Andres Pastrana Arango YouTube channel. It was recorded in 1999, and you can actually see what's supposed to be a person holding an iPad. Now, iPads did not exist in 1999. They were first developed by Apple in 2010. This and many other videos out there makes us question if time travel exists or if we're living in some sort of simulation.
Right? And his face is moving, but look at that, his
have you
face
seen
is
this?
moving,
This is
but the guy
weird.
in the mirror is seeing the same. Yo!
Oh, that's weird, dude.
Isn't that
And
weird?
recently, internet
I remember
users are
when that got
baffled by
posted.
the
That was
mysterious
crazy.
and unexplained case of Javier, el único sobreviviente, a guy who says he woke up in the year 2027, all alone, no one around him due to some sort of event that happened.
Estudiando los apuntes del refugio y he averiguado que conmigo debieron de utilizar una especie de...
Now, he has been posting these kind of videos for about a few months now, and to this day, no one has a good explanation to what really is going on. Is this guy a time traveler? Is he proof that we're living in some sort of simulation? Or is it just fake? The thing is, subscribers of his have been asking him to do loads of things and go to different places, and he has done it all.
Ok, Google. ¿Qué fecha es hoy?
Es domingo, 3 de octubre de 2027.
So what is really going on here? Right now we're going to be taking a look at his stories and videos, and you're probably going to be mind blown. Are you ready? Let's go. Javier's first videos all happen in Valencia, Spain, and they show him walking in various different places. At the beach, on a shopping mall, at the street, and the list goes on. His subscribers were baffled. How come there was absolutely no one around him, and how is this possible? Is he faking it or not? Now, the first video that Javier posted that baffled absolutely everyone was of him going into a hospital, the one he says he woke up to, absolutely no one around him. This is the video.
He's
Javier
in
says he
Spain,
remembers waking up
I
at the
think.
hospital with a document next
Revlon.
to him, a bracelet, and that's about it. The supposed document from General Hospital Valencia dates February 10th, 2021. It says his name is Javier and he got there unconscious. Still, people did not believe him and told him to go to an airport, because an airport is never empty, so he did. Notice how on this video he maintains the original background sound. In other words, there is no one there. You can't hear anyone walking, talking, or anything like that. How the heck is he doing this? Javier then continues to visit different popular places that should be filled with people. He goes to a supermarket and there is no one there. He goes to a police station and there is no one there. He goes to a church. He goes to a pharmacy or a drugstore and there is absolutely no one there. This is when he starts visiting larger and historical places too, and it's completely empty. So this is when people start to get creeped out, and I have to say myself also, I have no idea how he's pulling this off. His comment section was bursting with questions like, how does he have the key and access to all these different places? Why doesn't he visit other cities? And how is he able to post videos on TikTok in 2021 if he is in 2027? Well, some of these questions he was able to answer. In one video, he traveled to Madrid and it was empty. And in another video, he traveled to Barcelona. In another video, he went to a museum in Lorca and it was empty. One of his most intriguing videos is when he travels to a distant city and he finds bunkers and tunnels. People were having difficulties explaining exactly where he was.
Should we stop it here or let it keep going, Foil?
It's up to you. You can stop it here if you want, and we can discuss.
Go into some of his stuff, yeah. So you guys get the basic idea about Javier, and to answer some of the questions that I'm seeing out in the chat. Yeah, he did live stream this stuff, right? People will ask him to do stuff, and he'll go and do it. And there's debunking videos that have gone through. Is this guy? Is he editing the people out? Like I've seen people post in here. Is he editing the people out? And theoretically, yes, you could do that, but it would take. To do what he's done, it would take a full production crew to do that, and it would be really expensive.
Oh, they're saying keep going. Did you
keep going?
They're saying keep going in the chat. Yeah, well, we can. One other thing I see people saying, it could be for a movie or whatever. I mean, this could be some kind of awesome guerrilla marketing campaign.
Right,
something
that's a possibility. I mean, Right.
I mean, how, like, there's just so much here. And like they're saying, like the Pixel 6, you can edit out people, but like, can you imagine the number? Even if he filmed this during lockdown, even if he filmed this, how do all the people out of the windows, moving vehicles, this, that, like just the amount of effort that would take. And the guy is posting relatively frequently. Like he's got, I don't know, almost 200 videos up on his channel, and he takes questions like, and of course, other basic questions. How is the electricity still on? How is food still in the supermarkets? How is he posting from 2027 to 2021? Like, obviously these are questions, and I mean, obviously this is kind of weird and there's a lot to be explained, but it's, you know, it's something entertaining to kind of consider. But yeah, they're saying they want to see the rest of the.
You want to see more of this video? Well, we've got a ton of stuff on this guy, and the stuff that he's done, and I'm my thoughts personally, my personal thoughts on it. Either there's a full production crew behind this guy, and it's some kind of promo for a film that's going to come out that nobody knows about yet. Either it's something like that, or this guy's legit. Like, it's one or the other. Like, and I don't know, Foil. What are your thoughts on it? You know, we've looked at a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, I know. I mean, listen, you know, I'm a nuts and bolts kind of person. The possibility this guy's literally posting from 2027, I don't know. Right. Either way, this cat has mad skills, and it's worth taking a look at. And again, it gives a kind of an idea, like the whole liminal, like there's a subreddit called liminal reality or something that is pictures just the idea of the empty. The idea of the emptiness, like finding yourself alone. These are weird feelings that we've all experienced. You find yourself alone in a hallway and it just feels weird. You find yourself alone on a street and it's like you're the only person there. Like, what would that be like to live, you know what I mean, in this kind of a liminal space like that? Like, it's just kind of entertaining to consider. It's really a weird thing.
Sakura, nuts and bolts and nails at Walmart. Yep. See,
that's the one.
He never forgets.
Nuts and bolts and nails at Walmart.
She's loyal to the Dollar General. That's what Foil is. She's loyal to the Dollar General. I verified this.
It's the closest thing to the house.
She is loyal to the Dollar General. Absolutely.
Lags611 says, is there a link to his TikTok or whatever he posts on? Yeah, you know what? Let me grab him. We can watch the rest of the video and then we'll look at some of his.
We'll play more of the video and then we'll look at some of his stuff and then we'll open up calls.
Yeah, and I will grab links for you guys and start dropping them in the chats just so you can check it out yourself.
At one point in this video, people actually start questioning if Javier is indeed in the year of 2027 because they don't recognize this structure in Valencia or any other city in Spain. This is where things really take a turn. At some point, he goes to an underground bunker and he finds a document.
Y he averiguado que conmigo debieron de utilizar una especie de colisionador de partículas.
He just finds it on the steps.
The document reads, Experiment JESP8827. Javier, you probably don't remember who you are, and you probably won't. However, know that we haven't lost connection with you, and you will probably understand why in the future. Then the document goes on to explain that he was a time machine experiment from 2027 to 2021, but the experiment failed. He reached 2021, but for some reason time and space did not function as they should, and he was locked in a reality where there are no animals and people around him. It even showed equations and graphics of how time travel supposedly works. By now, he had drawn the attention of mostly every internet community, and everyone was talking about this. And for obvious reasons, most YouTube channels, influencers, and internet personalities were trying to debunk these videos. Here are some of the findings.
Sakura has a good point. How come he still has an internet connection, dude? There's nobody working there to keep the internet connection going.
I understand.
That's a real problem, dude. Like,
Well, they go into the debunks. Like I said, I mean, we're
right,
just humoring
let's
this.
play
It's
the
not
let's
like
play the
anybody's-
debunks here. Let's see.
I guess the first question that people started asking themselves was, did he record all this during quarantine? Well, it would be impossible to go into a hospital, a police station, a hotel, with it being completely empty, and he did all those. So the next question is he editing the people out using Photoshop or something like that? Well, a YouTuber went to the trouble of trying to do so, and here is the result.
To getting decent results from this feature is to create a quality mask around the object that you want to remove. You'll then need to track that object by keyframing the mask throughout the whole clip. Now this is somewhat tedious, but you don't want to skimp on this step or you'll get poor.
In this video, this YouTuber explains how to remove a person from his recordings. He did a great job. The thing is, he took hours and hours just to remove one person at a very slow and smooth video that he did with a drone. Nevertheless, he did a great job, and it would explain how Javier is doing this. However, in many of Javier's videos, he's doing fast-moving recordings. In one specific video, he uses a car to leave Valencia, and in this video he drives through miles. There is not a single person in sight. Imagine how many hours, maybe days or even months it would take for him to remove animals, people, everything from this video. I guess the idea of using Photoshop is really good, but I'm not too sure if this is how Javier is pulling this off. There was also YouTube ArtiQuLate. They went and said that they found out a mistake in one of Javier's videos.
Here's my problem with this. All right? I totally think this is possible, but here's my problem with this. Sending it on the internet to 2021. Like, that's my issue. Like, I totally believe there's parallel realities. I totally believe that in some projects that are unacknowledged that we're accessing them, and who knows. But posting
just
to TikTok,
to be the devil's advocate here.
Play the devil's advocate. You're good at that.
You were just saying about how you believed about how we had the sauce. We talked about it on Space Force News, had the articles about how they were able to make facsimiles or whatever just to send information, right?
But the problem is you get faxed
information.
You don't get to come back, right? But you get faxed, right? So then when you get over there, like,
well, I'm not even talking about the whole idea of possibly faxing a physical object. We're just talking about sending a data stream. Like I said, I'm just being the devil's advocate here. Like, who knows? It's just fun to talk about, right?
Right.
It's just fun to talk about.
Maxenon says maybe the internet connection he is using is still in 2021 somehow. Maybe. I don't know.
That's what they were saying, like maybe some sort of a phase shift. Like, apparently that's what that document was saying. It was like,
I mean,
he was a time travel experiment gone wrong, right? That he is, it's still, there's still the connection to 2021, but he's out of phase with the reality here or whatever, or, you know, apparently. Right? Just like I said, just fun things to consider.
Right.
Right?
Should we, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on parallel realities and your own personal experiences? Because I know many of the people in this chat have had their own personal experiences, which help them to understand the world around them in the way that they do, right? Like, we all have had our experiences that have formed the way that we view the world. This is why we have to be very understanding of one another, because we all have different experiences. We're all looking through a different lens. I've said that many times. So, but I love to hear about other people's experiences and their perspectives on this type of stuff. It's always very interesting to me. So this is just mainly to provoke conversation about the topic of parallel realities and people's experiences on it and that type of thing. Good to see you, Cosmic Origins. What's up, man?
Hello.
Hey, Lauren Pritchard. Good to see you too. So yeah, should we go into some more of his stuff or open up for calls?
Well, maybe show the zoo video, and like there's a couple others, and then we can open up for calls and just see what people think, or if Tom Ford wants to call in, we definitely want to hear.
Yeah, Tom Ford. All right, so we got this first. This article, mysterious lone survivor who sends TikTok videos from 2027. Here's an article about the guy. We need to put the link to his TikTok in the chat for everybody.
I did. I dropped the TikTok and the
great.
YouTube in the
Thank
chat.
you.
Yeah, but I mean, this just shows you that there's like Lad Bible and people on Medium are writing about this guy, trying to debunk it. Like we should link all this stuff in the description.
White Hat said at 27, maybe the internet is in orbit. Excellent point. Excellent point. I didn't even think about that.
Well, I mean, we're working on that now. Like, I mean,
Right?
Bezos and all of them.
That's
are
totally
at it.
plausible, right? It's totally plausible. Okay, so here's the video, the article, mysterious lone survivor who sends TikTok videos from 2027. This fellow here, and then what do we have after that? We've got time travel. Yeah, so here's another article written about this guy right here. Here is, should we play this one? This video? Well, we're gonna.
I can't see it.
It's the history video. We'll play that one. And the zoo video.
Oh, this is his very first. Yeah, this is his very first.
This is his first video. That's what I do, man. If I was the only person in the world, I would make TikTok videos and send them back to 2021.
Yeah, he's saying 13th February 2027, humanity is gone. He's the only person in the city.
Bummer.
There's nobody in the commercial centers, nobody in the streets. I'm sorry, I'm reading it as I see it on the screen.
That's gotta
Nobody
suck.
at the beaches.
Right?
Like,
who do you hang out with? You don't even have a dog. He can't even find a dog friend like in, what's that movie? You know what I mean?
Right. Where did everybody go? He's saying.
Okay, so what do we have after that? We've got Alexa. Whoa. Hey there.
What is that?
Nothing.
Ooh, yay.
Nothing. So he talking to Alexa. Now I know talking to Alexa, this could totally be, you could totally make Alexa say all kinds of stuff.
And he did the Google in the car, remember? So cause there's a couple times he's talked to assistants and asked for the date, and then they tell him.
Okay, Google. ¿Qué fecha es hoy?
What's the date today?
Es domingo, 21 de marzo de 2027.
Yeah, it's Sunday, something 2027.
Okay, Google. ¿Qué fecha es hoy?
Yeah, so now that is not compelling because we can make her do all kinds of strange stuff. All right, let's check out the zoo. So he goes to the zoo. Let's check out the zoo. He's got tons of videos.
Oh, the sun died. That was so good, Maxinon. Right? That's something we should talk about at some point.
Useless Creighton Eater says, what is this guy eating? That's a good point. How come the world is so clean when there's no people to take care of it? You know, like, that's what I trip on. Like, you know how crazy things would get if there was no one left to upkeep anything, like, in a very short period of time?
Yeah,
but the grass is mowed, homie. Like, it's mowed.
Yes.
Like, who mowed the grass? Who mowed the grass?
Maybe time has just stopped moving.
Maybe time has stopped altogether. Good point.
Who knows?
Laura Cunon's asking, did anybody ask him to find a newspaper?
I don't know.
People have asked him
got like
to do
200 videos. I didn't have time
People
to
have,
go.
yeah, there's a ton of videos. I don't know if they've asked him to do that. Do you want to go into any of these other videos, or do you want to go ahead and open it up, Foil?
I mean, we can open it up for calls if we want to show some more videos. If people want to see, we can pull them. Guys, we're gonna open it up for calls. We do want to keep it kind of topic specific. So if you have a theory on this, if you have something to comment specifically on the content we're showing, or a parallel reality, experience of your own, we'd love to hear it.
Right, or just discussion on that general topic.
Discussion
great.
on the general topic.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
If you have something to add to the conversation when it comes to parallel realities, I don't know. I think this stuff is totally, they keep us so in the dark about the true nature of reality. It's like we don't know what's really possible. I mean, we know we have spaceships flying around, phasing in and phasing out. So that tells us right there that what we're told is nonsense, right? But it would be nice if we could be taught, you know, if we, that's what we'll have in New Earth. We'll build new schools where we can learn the truth. We're already doing that. But because we're taught nonsense, and it's going to be
Hi,
so nice.
Rui. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today.
It's going to be so nice when
Portugal.
we can learn the truth about, you know, just creation itself. Creation is such a mystery, and it's so amazing. We have so much to learn, and obviously there's other beings out there that have progressed much further in that process, and that have an understanding of a creation and can kind of command it in a way, and that's cool. I can't wait till humanity gets to that point where we don't have to guess anymore at what's going on, you know?
Right. I mean, we don't know. This is fun to talk about, but I mean, think somebody just said maybe it's a teaser for Meta. He's the only one in there right now. I mean, think about that. Like, for real, we're talking about creating virtual and augmented realities. I mean, there are all manner of things going on right now that we just don't have all the answers for, but it makes for fun discussion for sure. What up, Tylena?
What's
going
up?
on,
I wasn't
Tyler?
expecting to be let in so soon.
Yeah, so glad to see you. I know you got something to say about this.
What's going on? Nice
going
shirt,
on?
Alara.
You look different. Where are you at? Are you at home, or are you out on doing something cool? You like my shirt? It's awesome, huh? Mm-hmm.
I do. I'm at home. There might be a delay. Is there a delay?
The trees are pretty where you live.
No.
The trees.
Yeah,
are
it's
pretty
fall.
there.
I mean, they're losing this tree directly behind me. Already lost all of its leaves. No, it's started getting cold, and like we had 2 beautiful days, and today's one of them. So anyway, or I'm in 2027, and you guys just don't know it.
You could be.
I've always suspected you, Tyler, that you just weren't real. You weren't a real boy,
Right.
so
Something
wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Yes.
Is the
You having
connection
problems?
messing up for you guys? Or is it just
Well,
me?
it
is
was
on
a
your
little
end.
bit glitchy for a second. Yeah,
It is on your end.
probably because you're
All right.
outside.
Good to hear from you, though, Tyler.
Blame it on me. Right. So, is everything sound okay to the chat?
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
we
fine.
can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you. So tell us your thoughts.
I've got our Cloaked Unseen coming in next, and Norm after our Cloaked Unseen, just to give everybody the update. Go ahead, Tyler.
Well, for one, that video, the only part that was weird to me, well, a lot of it was, but when he found that booklet on the step, and like he just walked up to it, instead of like picking it up, like he just like opened it. It was
Right.
just- you know what I mean? Like, how would you know to open it? I would pick it up and like, what is this? Anyway, there was a few things, but I guess, I mean, there's always a possibility that he somehow recorded it in 2027 and then like came back and uploaded it. I don't know.
Right. I mean, he's got a weird story. There's a lot, like Maxidon brought up like that what was it? Is it the sun died or the day the sun died or whatever? It was an account on YouTube. Like there are a lot of these where it's like accounts that are completely dedicated to telling like crazy stories, and it's like live action storytelling where they have these really creepy basis, and then the whole channel is dedicated to that. And then a lot of times the channels will just end and nobody ever knows what really happened.
Right.
So you know, maybe, but it's still fun. That's why I wanted to start, like, the idea of parallel realities is not so far out there.
No,
right? There
not at
is
all.
some basis for this to be a possibility. Now, whether this guy is really, you know,
I have a question. I'm raising my hand like a kid in class on my own show.
Yes,
that was
Alara.
funny. Yeah. So Alara has a question for Tyler. So Tyler, you've had a lot of really unique experiences. So your perspective is different. You know, for those that are unaware, Tyler has a podcast called Journey to Truth. Great show. Definitely go and check it out. Like, share, subscribe, find your way over there. But Tyler has been abducted by Greys, and he's had all sort of really crazy multidimensional experiences. So I think I remember you telling me one time that they they didn't abduct you physically, but they like abducted your light body or like something similar to that before. So they like took you into their reality and out of this one physically or non-physically, or how did that work?
Well, that seems to be how most of any of the experiencers explain their stories now, is that it's like an abduction of the mind, right? It's like they take your consciousness somewhere else and you're remembering you see and hear and feel everything as if you're there, but apparently your physical body remains, and you're somehow connected by some etheric cord the whole time.
Right.
And like something could potentially happen to you to where you might not make it back to your body. And that was what was explained to me, why I was taken by those Greys or whatever. They were working on me, and it was I told the whole story at ESETI.
If you don't make it back to your physical body, your etheric cord gets cut or something like that, then your physical body would die of cardiac arrest. Correct? Back here on Earth. Okay.
Right. That's what it was explained to me. Is something happened to me in the astral where my soul almost didn't make it back into my body, and they had to essentially do emergency surgery on me, whatever they were doing. And that's why I was able to see and remember everything, because there was no time to blank slate me or do anything. It was like they were saving my life somehow. And I just remember laying there on the table, and these little Greys were working on me. And I was trying to, it's funny because you don't even try to talk when every time I've had an experience, you just know it's telepathic somehow. It's all in your head. You don't even try and use your mouth. It's just weird. You understand the connection. But I'm asking them like, who are you? What are you guys doing? Where am I? A million questions. And it's just like radio silence. They're not interested in entertaining anything I have to say. They're just, doing what they did. But so yeah, that would probably be like another timeline or reality, because it clearly wasn't happening to me in my physical body.
What happens when you ask them questions? Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you what are you doing to me? Or what happens when you ask them questions telepathically? They just ignore you and keep doing what they're doing? Or
that in that particular case, yeah, they were working on me, and like there's a whole story. I could tell the whole thing, but it was in that particular case, they were just like, couldn't hear me, or they were instructed not to interact with me, or whatever the case was. They did whatever they had to do. Then some big insectoid looking hybrid dude comes in the room, and he looks at me like a doctor would, with the thing, like a light in each eye. And he looks in each eyeball, and he goes back and forth, and he looks at the little guys and then gives them a nod, and then the whole connection broke. Like, oh yeah,
wow.
He's okay.
That's wild.
But from having, the reason I wanted to call is because I definitely think there are parallel realities, alternate timelines. Do you guys think a timeline and a reality are the same thing? Like a parallel reality and a different timeline is one and the same? Like, how would you view that?
Foil?
I mean, alternate timelines would be different manifestations of it would have to be a parallel reality. And
right.
Maybe at some point they collapse, like we've talked about rubber bands, like they collapse in on themselves, or things spring back in. Like maybe this is where the Mandela effect is coming from. I mean, but just from what we think we know, alternate timelines would have to be an example of parallel reality. Now, whether these things converge and diverge at different points, I don't know. And thank you, Willie Break It for the can, who thinks that it's totally edited videos entirely possible. But yeah, I think that's kind of the same thing. But I think there are entirely different parallel realities that aren't even tied to our timeline, or that don't, right. That may be so dissimilar that.
Well, the thing that convinces me, so every guest we've ever had on the show, they all offer Aaron and I a free session or a healing or whatever they do. Like, we are so fortunate enough to be blessed with that, to be able to get a free session from some of these people, because not everybody can afford that, right? So I take advantage of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take advantage of this, and I'm gonna have this session with this person. And at this point, I've lost count. I mean, like past life regressions, QHHT, just regular hypnosis, Reiki sessions, psychic readings, mediums, you name it, all of it. And what I realized is that all of it literally can't be true, because none of it corroborates, and it doesn't make sense. And all of these people are just crazy, tapping into absolute bullshit, or they're tapping into different realities and different aspects of yourself. Because right. There are so many, to me, my conclusion is that my conclusion is that we don't know shit. We don't know shit about shit. And then if any of the information that comes through some of these sessions, you know, I'm like living like married to this other girl in the astral life, and we have like hybrid children together. Then I have another life in the SSP where I have another relationship with somebody else, and then there's another life in where I'm like more of like in a slave program. This isn't my memory. I do have memories from some stuff, but this is information that comes through. Whether it's just like testing me to see how I'm going to respond, what I'm going to do with this information, or every one of these people are actually tapping into a different version of myself. And it's like almost becoming research at this point. Like, okay, what are all these people tapping into? What timelines, what realities are they seeing? Because it's clearly not from this one.
Right.
I've thought that too. Like I've had these crazy thoughts about, you know, the SSP topic gets so deep, man. Like, it gets
the only
so
other
deep.
option,
There's so many layers too.
There's only two options to me. Either they're tapping into other timelines, or every
single person is nuts.
It's full of shit. Yeah. All of them, because none of it corroborates. Like, I had people tell me, I mean, it's crazy what they tap into. Or there's like all this trickster energy out there that's just feeding everybody bullshit. Nobody knows what's going on.
Right.
You know,
I don't even know. We got satellites beaming stuff at our heads, man. And
right. Screen memories, false experiences, all kinds of stuff.
All of it.
And like getting into all this stuff, I was like so certain about a lot of things, right? And then you have to have self-correct, have humility, and admit that you're wrong, and about a lot of things, and then reevaluate, go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what's actually going on here?
You know what? I'm sorry, Tyler, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm not discounting anybody, because I think there's a lot of gifted people. I would lean more towards that they're tapping into other versions of myself, other timelines, alternate, parallel realities. Because I even have experiences, in some cases, memories, I guess you could say, of shit that just doesn't, it's out of context. And I'm just like, when, how, where did this happen? You know?
Right.
Yeah. All I want to do is comment in the chat. You know, I just want to say something about, I really love this chat sometimes, because even when people state their opinions in this chat, it's always, hey, this is my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't really see people ever come in here and try to tell everybody else what they should think or how they should feel, or that their perspective is wrong. Nobody comes in here and does that. They just, you know, politely state their opinion and you know, hope that it helps us all help solve the greater picture and solve the bigger puzzle. You know what I mean? And I think that that's cool. I just want to give you guys a shout out. I think I love that about this chat. So
I agree. Real quick, and then we'll let Ryan come on, because I know he's tapping into some other realities.
Right? He is.
No doubt.
Yeah,
There's
man.
no doubt in my mind he sees something that we can't see. But
frequency, man. I think it's all frequency, dude.
Right. And well, we all have to remember, this is when it comes down to discernment. We all have to remember how easily it is for all of us to be tricked right now with any information, with any videos like you were just showing. A good example is this movie Operation Avalanche on Amazon Prime. I just happened to come across. It's about how they faked. It's like a documentary about a documentary on how they faked the moon landing with Stanley Kubrick and all that stuff. And it's like it tells a really compelling story, and it might just be a story, or do you know how they hide the truth in plain sight? They could be telling the world exactly what they did and how they pulled this off in this movie, but people are just going to write it off as entertainment.
Yeah, for sure.
What they did was they even had NASA fooled. So people within NASA were trying to fool NASA employees, because that's how they could only pull off the lie. So they had the astronauts in on it. They gave the fake footage to the astronauts to then feed through their feed from the shuttle to Mission Control, so that the people in Mission Control thought that they were getting real footage from the astronauts, not knowing that the astronauts were in on the cover-up. So everyone in Mission Control in Houston thought that this was legit. We landed on the moon. They were seeing the same footage that the world saw, according to this movie. And then the people who made the movie were hired by the CIA, and they were being used and tricked by the CIA. And there was like everybody was stabbing each other's back, and it is just so it gets really crazy and deep on how freaking corrupt it all was. On every level, there's moles, there's spies, there's double agents. Everybody's tricking and lying to each other, and it goes to show you how easily it is that anybody can be tricked. So even the people at mission control at NASA believed that they were seeing the moon landing. Although, and then that's just like when you talk to these experiencers or these contactees, like if you ask somebody at mission control, like, did we land on the moon? They're like, absolutely, yes. I know we did. I was there. I saw it. There's no way that feed could have been hacked. It was coming straight from the space shuttle, not thinking that the astronauts were actually in on the cover up. So this could be happening with all of our experiencers, all of these contactees, everybody. Like, who is on the other side of the curtain? Who's giving this information? Just because they're getting a direct feed from somebody they trust, like Mission Control was getting a direct feed from the shuttle, doesn't mean that it could have been altered.
Right.
So we have to keep, like, it's getting so hard to know what's what, but I'm not discounting everything. I'm just saying we really, really, really need to rethink stuff and quit taking it all at face value and really start discerning everything.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your input, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that to my watch list now for sure.
Yeah, always good when you call in and.
Right. Yeah. Well, that also goes. I mean, that goes with with this parallel timelines and stuff.
Right.
Some of this stuff might be true. Like some of this information that people are getting right now about what's happening currently. What if it's another timeline somehow or something?
Right.
Like, you can't discount it. Like, I definitely believe there's other timelines or parallel realities. I mean, absolutely, I think that's happening. So we might be getting information, but we don't see anything manifesting in our world because maybe it's from a different time.
Yeah, maybe it's not even necessarily applicable to us.
Right.
Possibility. Hey, I'm excited for Grafton, man. That's going to be fun. Would you like to plug your conference while you're here, sir?
Yeah, Secret Space Conference. Aaron and I decided to do a conference here in the Midwest for once. So for everybody who can't, there's always people. Why is it always on the West Coast? Why is it always on the West Coast? So we wanted to do one in the Midwest, kind of cater to everyone. And it's actually drivable for a lot of people. So it's going to be fun. We got a lot of secret space program, whistleblowers, experiencers, all the above, physicists, hypnotherapists, scientists. We want to paint a picture and just let people decide for themselves what they think about this stuff. And because it's very compelling and some stuff corroborates beautifully and it's hard to ignore. So, and I think that it deserves more attention. So we're doing that, and it's only $444. That's 4 days. And I say only because that includes all the meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, every day, and everything else. It's all inclusive ticket. So
awesome. What is it? Secret Space Conference.info?
Info.
And tickets are $444, correct?
Right.
Okay.
And we will be there.
We will be there.
Live stream tickets for 111, and you two will have your booth there, Space Force News booth.
Yeah, man.
We're excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Whoop, whoop. All right, Tyler, thank you for calling in. Let me get to these other callers. You have a wonderful, blessed day.
Much love.
Okay. All right, bye-bye. Oh, he kicked himself out. Isn't that nifty? All right, Ryan.
Right.
We got Ryan, then we got Norm, and Aaron Moriarty is third in line. Our Cloaked Unseen World, welcome to the Conspiracy Couch. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
What up, Cloaked?
You got people climbing on the ceiling and up the walls.
Yeah, buddy. She saw a shadow person in the yard the other day.
Oh, I've seen a few things here. They just they don't do anything. They just make themselves known. That's really all they do.
Just that one thing that I think I got out of here was acting up, but the rest of them are cool.
I'll reinforce one thing that Tyler said with the quote that I wrote on my own. Everyone always wants to see the sauce, only to remain the galley's slave. Imagination is boss and home of the self-unindoctrinating, doubt and fear-free brave.
There you go.
Believe none of what you see, read, or you hear, and only what you feel. Vibrate through you, around you, within you, and that's it.
I like that.
Because Nikola Tesla said himself, created thousands of devices that were created to deceive the eye, the ear, and he didn't say the mind, but you might as well say the mind too, because that's what it does. These things do. Anything from your light fixture. I got a video on my channel called Light Fixture Madness. You should check that thing out. It's mind blowing. When you do it in slow motion, it looks like a serpent, like a snake serpent is in the light fixture. It looks like a caterpillar in another section. You can see it's just crazy.
So do you think that the things that you see, Ryan, are in like a parallel space, or that they're phase shifted?
No, I know exactly what they are. They're the beings, the elementals, they're all the beings. I mean, that are materializing and manifesting our reality around us, moving faster than the speed of light, literally circling us. They're within the rotating magnetic field that surrounds us all and goes around everything, and they're materializing our world in real time. When you're out there in nature and you're recording, the recorder's recording in real time. When the camera's blurry, it's not blurry because it's got to get into focus. It's blurry because the holographic projection from nature, because nature's like a 3D, 4D, 5D printer, it materializes our reality via our imagination. Meaning not as in it's just they're like here's a quote. This one's I just found it recently, and it talks about imagination, and it's
imagination, as SpongeBob would say.
For this what we're talking about. But here's the other thing I want to talk about is that these realities, these timelines and stuff, I think that the evil people are literally changing us within the timelines with our alters, from one timeline to another.
Like they're swapping us out?
Yeah, like constantly. Doing that to keep us, always at odds with each other, because people will say, well, that never, they'll see a series of events that happen, right? They'll say it didn't happen like that, it happened like this. And and then, both could be right. Both could be right, because they could have been swapped out, and
Let me interrupt you for just a second, Ryan. So White Hat just said he's thinking about going to the Secret Space Conference. So just putting that out there. It looks like White Hat might go to the Secret Space Conference. That's pretty cool, right?
So let me ask you this, Ryan. All right. So we have, and I'm just bear with me here, because I don't do judgy, like that is above my pay grade. But there has to come a point that we can say, okay, this is so, everything can't be true.
Not in Ryan's world,
right? Everything can't be true. Where do we draw the line where we're like, okay, man,
well, every thought does something. Every thought generates an energy, a frequency.
I agree.
So it creates, right? So it creates something. It creates, what doesn't it create?
You just think it's a you think this is what do you think this? Okay, what do you think this is, Ryan? What do you think 3D physical reality is? Have I asked you this before? Your perspective is interesting.
It's just literally it's a. Okay, so there's nature. All nature is literally it materializes and manifests our reality via we imagine. It's just, I've seen it in real time on videos. I've seen it in real time with my own two eyes. I've stopped time myself when I drove before I drove my truck off the side of a cliff back in 2009. I think I told you that story, didn't I? That was mind blowing. I literally was I got back from vacation for 45 days. Was on my went to work because I worked the night shift. First night back at work. On my way home in the morning, I felt the thump 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 on the freeway, and I opened up my eyes and I saw this. I was in the section of freeway. I'd fallen asleep at the wheel, where there's an embankment that goes like a steep cliff embankment, anywhere from a 50 to 70 foot drop, just right off. Literally when my eyes opened up, there was this huge freeway sign that said, gas, food, lodging, all right there. And literally my first thought was, oh shit, this is it. you know, because that was my first thought. But right when I thought that, I stopped, like right in front of the sign. And then my next thought was, cross your arms, pull back your legs, bow your head, and relax for impact. And then all of a sudden, the truck started moving again.
You heard that in your head, in your mind, or telepathically, or?
Yeah, it was like I don't know if I was talking to my higher self was talking to me, but yeah, that was just like the thought process that went into mine.
Did time slow down?
It literally stopped, froze.
It stopped?
Like didn't move.
Okay.
Yeah, it just literally like stopped dead on its tracks. And it did it twice in the same accident. It stopped, it started again, it stopped, and then it started again. And here's what happened. So when it started again, I blew it through the sign and blew it into pieces. It ended up being like a $13,000 sign my insurance had to pay for. So then I'm had my eyes closed, my legs were pulled back, they were pretty much crossed, my arms were crossed making an X, and I was like, you know, in a relaxed fetal like little ball, and just relaxed. It's like I've never been more relaxed in my life. It was just weird. And then so all of a sudden I feel the truck roll, and then it rolls. I don't know if it rolled once or twice. Then it hit this tree. Yeah, you told me about this. And it went bam, and it hit the tree. So then I'm upside down in this truck, and when I open my eyes, I look over to the right, and then there's a tree limb sticking through the front windshield, through the passenger seat, out the back window. That's like thick as your thigh. And then I look out the back window, and my truck's like elevated like 20 feet in the air. So then I look up because I'm upside down. I look up, and then the airbag goes off after the fact. So that's when the time stopped. That's when time picked up again the second time. Because like when I hit the impact, time stopped again. So I looked around, and then I looked up. All of a sudden, this airbag blows up. And then within like 5 minutes, somebody is down at below the truck, and then the fire department came, had to get a ladder to get me out, bust out the window. And then they made me take a field sobriety test, which I passed with flying colors. And this is back in December 6, 2009 was the date. And it was before these like good cell phones were out. And the cell phone I had I didn't even know where it was because of the accident. So it wasn't something I could take a picture of.
That's wild.
It was, and I didn't even have, I don't even think I had a camera phone on my back then at that point. I think that was after that. So yeah, I mean, it's just insane. And then I've had dreams where I've like been like told to tell people that like this is one thing that's happening is they're crossing our timelines, like swapping us in and out, so people stay confused and people stay at odds with each other. People stay, you know.
I mean, he's got a point. Look at the Mandela effect and stuff. You know, what I mean,
if you're evil, isn't that what you do to keep people confused? I mean, you got to think like evil, right? You're gonna do everything. You're gonna change text messages on the phone that I send you. It's gonna be a different message than I sent. You're gonna receive a different message than I sent. You know, it just, you know. And
right.
So basically, you could have two people watching the same event. And this happens all the time. You can see it in the court of laws. It happens all the time. People can see the same thing happen and describe it and see two different actual realities of what happened in the same place at the same time. And that's because, you know, what you imagine is always going to be right, no matter what it is. Because say you think that Joe Biden won and he didn't cheat. Well, in your reality, that's the way it's going to be until you individually see something that changes your thought. And when that thought changes, your imagination changes, and that's your reality then. I mean, that's where I am saying when I say imagination is everything, because it creates everybody's reality regardless of what it is. It's what manifests your reality regardless whether what you are imagining is true for the, you know, other people around you. It is.
There may be a reality where the Democrats didn't do anything shady, but I promise you it wasn't this one.
Right?
Yeah.
You know who?
That's all I took from that. That's all I'm saying.
Norm is next, and then Aaron's after him. But you know who else is in the waiting room? Who's going to be the last call for today? Actually, is Jermaine. Jermaine's calling in.
Oh.
Isn't that exciting? Right.
Right.
Have you met Jermaine, Ryan?
No, I've seen him interviewed on like Tyler's show. I think I wouldn't mind him.
Yeah.
He's super fun.
Yeah.
He's like a hilarious guy.
Yeah, he is. He's very funny, very entertaining, and he's great. So yeah, excited to have Jermaine call in. That's awesome. He's never called in before, I don't think so.
Okay, one quote and I'll be out. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brian. Something? You said you wanted to say one more thing.
Yeah, just this quote here that I found the other
quote,
day.
Okay.
Yeah, most persons, this is Nikola Tesla, most persons are so absorbed in the contemplation of the outside world that they are wholly oblivious to what is passing on within themselves. The premature death of millions is primarily traceable to this cause. Even among those who exercise care, it is a common mistake to avoid imaginary and ignore the real dangers. And what is true of an individual also applies more or less to a people as a whole. That's it.
Nice.
Wonderful
I like
thought.
your quotes. I like your quotes.
Well,
thank
that
you
was
for
before
your
Tesla. That one.
Thank you for.
But yeah.
Thank you for your insight and your opinion, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks
Guys,
for
Ryan.
calling.
Ryan has a channel on the Foxhole now, so you can find Ryan over on YouTube at Our Cloaked Unseen World. You can also find him over in the Foxhole, same title. Are you on any other platforms, Ryan?
Yeah, actually, I just added Twitch and DLive, and I made subscribers.
Okay. Cool.
And
yeah,
one more. End it with a quote of my own. It's a quick one.
No more quotes, Ryan. I have 4 people in the waiting room. I was gonna cut it at 3, but there's 4. Okay, so I have to cut it right now. Sorry about that. But you can follow Our Cloaked Unseen World, Foxhole, DLive, Twitch, and YouTube under the same title. Definitely go and check him out and the work that he does.
Much love to you.
Have a wonderful day. Talk to you later, Gator. All right.
I'll put the quote in chat.
There you go. I can't find
All
his
right. Norm is
channel.
next.
I was trying to go follow.
Norm is next, and then Aaron, and then Jermaine. And then we'll close it out. Leyland, it would have been fine. I would have taken your call too if you wanted to wait, friend. If you had something to add. What's going on, Norm? Welcome to the Conspiracy Couch Parallel Realities.
I have that same shirt. I love that shirt.
How are you today?
Oh, yeah, I like this shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to comment on that video where people were saying it could be faked, and I agree with them. It can be faked because there's tons of even commercial software that can do that, or a consumer level software like Hit Film or DaVinci Resolve, and then of course you could do it with After Effects. But they said about the people commenting, telling them what to do. If this was a Hollywood production and this was some sort of like marketing gimmick, they would plant those people in the audience to ask them what to do
as the commenters. Right.
And the only thing why I don't think it's a Hollywood production is because for the last 20 years I've worked for places that do this in Hollywood, and I would know about it. So
well, you've got a good point, Norm, and I'll tell you, there was a video that I came across, and I didn't pull it for this show because we had so much stuff to show, but they had said this. What's wrong?
Thank you, Kiz, for the cookie. Appreciate it.
Oh yes, thanks, Kiz. Much love. They had said pretty much the same thing, that there would be plants, and so they went through and they pulled like every comment that he got from somebody telling him to do something. Some of them were kind of sketch. They were like new accounts, just created, whatever. But there were others that were big, like big channels on YouTube and stuff that were following the story and trying to do debunks that were telling him to do stuff that weren't, that were obviously not in on any potential, fuckery that they were able to show, like had no ties to this guy that had told him to do, and he went and did these things. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and like I said, I work for people that do this.
Right.
Even if the company I work for wasn't the one doing it, I would know the people that were doing it because I've worked in that industry for the last 20 years. Unless it was someplace like outside of Hollywood.
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be, he's in Spain, right?
Yeah.
But like they've tried, like I said, that's a good point. And they've tried, I mean, this one guy went through and pulled every comment because, he shows the little names or whatever, like pulled all. And some of them were like, maybe, but there were a lot that just were not. I mean, that were established, known channels and other content creators, and that it seemed legit.
Yeah, you got me wanting to look further into this, and I think I am. I'm gonna ask around and see if there is any.
If you find out anything,
I'll
definitely let us know. Yeah,
but
for sure.
I think I would have probably known already, and that's what makes me think it's legit, even though I go back and forth whether or not believing time travel is legit, because I go into this brain loop where I'm like, it can't be this way, but yeah.
That's interesting what White Hat said about the internet, because that's what really had me thinking it had to be fake, right? But then what he said about maybe the internet's in space at that point.
Yeah, orbital.
They're talking about doing that.
Recently.
The little satellites up in space, and they've been talking about doing that for the last 5-10 years now, to give everybody internet access everywhere.
No, Leyland, just a second. Leyland, you're fine. You can go ahead and call back in. That's fine. We can take your story too. That's fine. I didn't say that wanting you to step out, my friend. You're welcome to call back in. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Norm.
No, yeah, it's definitely got me interested, and then this is the first I'm really hearing about it, which is why I love you guys' show.
Man, we've been trying to find stuff that maybe, conspiracy. We've been trying to find off the wall. So, I'm determined to talk about Randonautica at some point. This is my next thing. I'm determined that we should talk about the Randonautica.
We should do it. Talk about it. We need to do it.
Yeah,
see what happens.
Should live stream.
Yeah. We should live stream Randonautica. Yep, that would be dope. So dope. In fact, wouldn't it be cool to get a group of us together to go do Randonautica and film it and live stream it?
That'd be
fantastic. To do a mystery science theater, whatever it is now, 3000. Is it up to?
Yeah, right. Yeah, MST3K. Yeah.
Something.
Right.
That would be dope.
Do your comments and everything during the live stream. That'd be great.
I think so.
And have somebody read out the chat. That would be great. That'd be fun.
Yep.
Super fun.
It'd be a lot of fun. It'd be like a scavenger hunt. We could break off into groups. Everybody takes the Randonautica app, goes on different missions, and then there's a person on each team that's filming with a GoPro, and then somebody
Max
feeds.
Said she's got Randonautica stuff for us.
Somebody feeds and then somebody feeds all that data to one person that's live streaming it out to everybody else, right?
Yeah, buddy.
So
dope,
how
Portland Andy has all those streams on his one stream.
Yep.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, man.
A great plan.
Yeah,
you can make your own channel with just Randonautica missions. You know what I mean?
I was saying the same thing. It's almost like a channel worthy.
It's almost like a channel, right?
For sure. We could get people all over the country. Oh, Max says you want to do it on Saturday.
Oh, let's do a Randonautica mission after tacos.
We could go Randonautica.
Yes. That's gonna be so fun. Let's do that. Oh my god, that's gonna be great.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes.
Right.
Woo-hoo.
I'm afraid to Max, to be
I'm
honest,
not downloading that.
Same thing. See, she said that to me, but I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
I'll put it on a phone I'm about to throw away, maybe, or your phone, but not mine. Right?
Yeah,
all right. So
that's right. You don't have a smartphone. That's right.
I have an old one that I use for certain things or whatever, but it's not connected. It's not connected. But I use it with Wi-Fi once in a while when I'm out of town, away from my computer or whatever. I cheat with it sometimes. But
right. Well, we'll get it. We'll do it. It'll be great.
All right. Well, I have to go. I got some stuff to do.
Thank you for calling in, Norm. We always love to hear from you. It's always a pleasure.
Of course.
I always love talking to you guys. So thank you for having me.
Right,
yeah, of course. Hopefully we can do a Randonautica mission with you soon.
That'd be cool.
Right?
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome. We got to let's start a brainstorming chat or something on Pilled or something for that. Yeah, we need to definitely do that.
That'd be cool.
All right. Have a wonderful day, Norm.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Well, that'll be fun.
Man, that's going to be dope. All right. So Aaron Moriarty's in next, and then the infamous Jermaine will be in last, and we will be closing the show with Jermaine. Aaron, Truth and Quest TV.
Hi.
What's going? Oh, I totally should have let Norm talk about Three Beer Men.
Shout out Three Beer Men.
Shout out Three Beer Men over on the Foxhole. That is where you can find Norm. He's a very interesting guy. They always have lots of interesting stuff going on over there on the Foxhole at Three Beer Men. What time is their show? Isn't it Thursday night?
No, well, I know they go on Sunday at 9 also.
Oh, they go on at Sunday at 9.
Yeah, I don't know what else they do throughout the week. I just happen to know that one.
Yeah, so check out the Three Beer Men if you have not
Three
checked
Beer
them
Men.
out already over there on the Foxhole. What's going on, Truth and Quest TV? Aaron, welcome to the Conspiracy Couch. What do you have to say
Aaron?
about parallel realities and this dude that's supposedly allegedly alone in 2027?
Thank you very much. Yes, it's a very interesting story. I would like him to, I don't know if anyone has, I haven't looked into this guy at all, but has anybody told him to go to a car dealership so he can see what the new cars in 2027 look like?
Well, I haven't seen that, but I think because there have been similar things, like they don't understand how everything would be the same. Maybe what he's saying is like everything stopped in 2021 and he just happened to wake up in 2027, and he's saying he thinks he's in 2027 because of the Alexa. Maybe there are like 200 videos. I went through maybe 30 or 40 of them. Like I haven't had a chance to go through the entire channel yet.
Very intriguing. And the idea of the multiverse was confirmed by the Defense Advanced Research Development Agency,
right?
As per Andrew DiBasciago, and even Brett Stillings, who verifies Andrew's story. Brett Stillings, he was in the Mars Jump Room program with Andrew. He claims he's from a different timeline. In other words, a different reality, where only one of the Twin Towers was hit by an airplane and it didn't fall down. And he wants to get back to that timeline because he says it was a better one, apparently.
Right.
But so yeah, I think there's, and I never used to think that this could even be possible until, I don't know, it was about 8 or 10 years ago. Japanese physicists mathematically showed that everything we see in our three-dimensional world here is actually a projection from a 2D universe.
I have seen something about that.
So if that's all we are, just like a film strip, there could be multiple film strips. So it's not that hard to imagine there could be other realities. So
right. I mean, well, and I mean, just think like, and granted, we talk a lot about like disclosure in the media or whatever, like little drops that we get. I mean, like the show Fringe was entirely based on the idea of a very closely related parallel reality, or like The Man in the High Castle, or like they've put these ideas out there. I mean, but there is some science behind it. What is it?
This is from my side of the book, pulling back the covers on extraterrestrial contact, a spouse's point of view, Lisa Romanek. And they photographed here one of those shadow beings.
Oh, is that Stan Romanek's wife that wrote that book?
Yeah. Yes, I interviewed
interesting.
that like
really?
4 different times. There's
That's
one of
cool.
these shadow beings, but it knocked a book off the bookshelf there at that place. But they would stand and they would watch over her twin daughters as they slept.
It's wild.
So yeah, you mentioned shadow beings. Sorry.
Yeah, they're in the house sometimes, in the yard, hopefully, mostly. But yeah, I've seen them in the house here before. I was just telling her that when we were sitting on the porch before the show, like maybe they're projections from some other reality. I don't know. Like maybe that's not even a dimensional thing. I don't know. But yeah, they are in this house for sure.
I heard that they might be special ops, secret special ops, and they tried to get invisibility, but that's all they could get.
That doesn't seem so far-fetched to me. But
let me thank Askwatch for the phone. Great show, making my Mondays great again. Thank you so much, Askwatch. We really appreciate that. I want to say quickly, Aaron Moriarty's show, Truth and Quest. What is it called on there? Truth and Quest TV, or is it called
Truth Quest?
Truth Quest. Truth Quest. His channel's awesome. I lurk and watch you. I don't always go in the chat. And
I followed you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love watching your show.
Watch a couple of shows.
It's fascinating. We're into the same stuff, dude. So I can listen to you. So if you're into this channel, definitely go and check out his channel because you'll like Aaron's work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. There's this other book here. You mentioned string theory, and I highly recommend this book by Brian Greene, The Elegant Universe. And I've read that. Have you? I was the third of the way through the book, when he starts talking about these Kali shapes.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
Curled up. It's a curled up dimension, and they're everywhere. Like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's been on Rogan before.
So
Brian Green.
I was reading this, and I was reading about these Kali, these twisted up dimensions, and I had a mental image of a gravity wave being amplified going through these, and the more they go through, the more gravity it makes. And I called Brian Green up. This was years ago, and I told him what I said. Maybe gravity is a wave, and maybe these waves go through these Kali shapes, and it's amplified, and it creates the gravity. He said, "Wow." He said that would work with quantum physics, and it would work with general relativity. And now he's working on gravity waves.
Wonderful.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting.
So I was really shocked by
Find a way to reconcile the two. That's what we need.
But also another book I got, and I know you're pressed for time, but make it very quick. This is called The Alien Interview, edited by Lawrence R. Spencer. In here, he claims that he got these transcripts from Matilda McElroy, the Army airfield nurse that was able to communicate with Errol.
I've read that too.
Have you read that? So in the book, Errol describes that before anything ever existed, there were just immortal spiritual beings. What is inside us is an immortal spiritual being. That's what animates us. But before there was anything to animate, there were just these immortal spiritual beings. And they got very bored because, they know everything and there's nothing to really know. So they started creating these illusionary spaces with all of their attention. And they created these illusionary spaces, like we might call them planets. And if enough other immortal spiritual beings saw that illusionary space, it just became reality. It became real or tangible.
Right.
And
that makes sense.
That could be the dark matter creating the universe. And so, but also that the immortal spiritual beings, they love to play games. But when you're all knowing, you can't play any games. So they eventually created creatures to enter to play games. And when you enter these creatures, these bodies, you lose your powers, so you can have fun and play games, because you can't play a game unless you don't know everything. So, yeah, very interesting.
Good info.
Wow. Yeah. I like how you think. We've read a lot of the same stuff, and I've had a lot of the same thoughts, so.
Wow.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, those sound like good reads. I want to check out that. What is it called? The Elegant Universe?
It's been years.
Was that his?
The Elegant Universe, Super Strings, Hidden Dimensions, and the Quest for the Ultimate Theory. Now, I think
buddy.
The Ultimate Theory is going to be something kind of like string theory. I think they're close with this.
So do I.
But yeah, it's a great. It's not his latest book. It's an older book, but it's a good.
Aaron, sorry, go ahead. No, I just want to tell you, I've always thought this is some sort of some sort of video game that we play. Like, we're all these immortal beings, and we come down and play this video game. Like, I can't get over how they do the veil. Like, who's in charge of it? Who does that? How does it work? Where we don't remember when we jump in the body, and then how, this is a whole nother conversation for another show. But then how do we decide? Which body we're going to inhabit? How does that process work? The exiting and the entering of the physical body. And I think, like you said, this is a pocket reality. Like, physical reality is a pocket reality, literally. Like, the universe consists of, the greater creation, the souls and whatnot, right? So this would be the pocket reality, physical reality, at least in my understanding.
I checked my pocket reality, and all I found was lint and a couple.
Man, right?
And on that one, right? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, of course you got to have fun. That's what you got to do in life, is have fun. Always. You got to stay having fun, even when it's rough, which it's getting rough now.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling. We love to have you.
Thank you for calling.
Call into my show tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah, might just do that. That sounds fun. Yeah, let's call into Aaron's show. Foyle, what do you think?
Sounds
like a party.
We can do that.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Aaron. Thank you for calling in.
Much love to you.
Have a wonderful day.
And thank you, Margolanon, for the can. The Berenstain Bear thing also blows my mind because it is Berenstein. I know it. I remember Cloaked. Thank you for the cookie. Bigfoot can take a shadow
Ooh,
being
what was that
formed.
movie that was on Netflix about what was the name of it? What's going on, Jermaine?
Yeah, hi, buddy.
Good to have you call in the conspiracy couch. Welcome to the couch. How are you?
Look, I'm doing okay. Sitting here thinking about what I'm gonna talk about on my round table tonight on Telegram.
Ooh,
you're getting it over there on Telegram. I've been checking it out, man. You're over there getting it, right? You said, I've had enough of Facebook.
After they
I'm done.
put me in Facebook jail, I said I wanted a turn-off, and I said, well, Telegram became a turn-off on September 21st, and I've been doing these roundtables while I let anybody come on and speak their mind about the whole fucking whatever the fuck. We talk about anything.
Right.
You know,
That's how you got to do it, right?
Yeah.
You're killing it,
y'all
Jermaine.
doing?
So Jermaine will be speaking at Tyler's conference, just so everyone knows. This is your first time speaking, huh, Jermaine?
Oh, yes.
Oh, we all just can't wait.
These roundtables, I think, is like training, though, because you can hear people's voice. You know, it ain't like Facebook and Instagram and the rest of them. It's more advanced.
So what comments do you have about parallel realities and about this gentleman that allegedly is alone in 2027?
Well, I was watching some of your video because I got in and you was talking about, well, wait a minute, the grass is mowed and stuff. That makes no sense because it was a Discovery Channel program where they was talking about after Earth, well, after people. And they showed you if people wasn't around, shit.
Right.
So, like I said, that didn't make no sense to me. I was like, what the fuck is this? But
maybe time just stopped.
Right?
Yeah, but
it's, I mean, a thought.
But it's like if time stopped, I think it'd be like a separate universe would be created. Like you be in a bubble, you be in your own separate universe because you decouple from the normal flow of time.
Yeah.
So you become like in a pocket reality.
Maybe that he's broadcasting from a pocket reality. I don't know.
Because I was reading something on the Essential Glossary, and they say densities, they call them time fields. So it's like.
Where do they say that?
Yeah.
Where do they say that?
It's on Essential Glossary with Lisa Renee. She's like she do a lot about that research in that glossary. A lot of her contact information is coming in there.
Alara's real big on the densities. That's what she heard the word density and was like, I gotta know.
Well, that's how they've been tricking us with these damn movies. I mean, they've been messing with our intent to make us get on these negative timelines by having enough people convinced and believe that these like 2012 was going to happen and all that other bullshit.
Right.
That keep us in fear.
I wonder what that's, at the beginning of the Rona, when all those videos from China started coming out and getting released. You guys remember when all that started in those China videos of people dropping dead in the streets and stuff? I wonder if that was like, in a way, like a psyop to get us to really believe the most negative, to believe the most negative outcome so that we would then manifest the most negative outcome.
Or just to trick countries into taking the most stringent and austere of methods. Like there was a video, Sam Tripoli had pulled it, of a dude filming a crew filming the video. No joke. And he was like, this is CIA. Like he was flipping out. Like, but it was a dude that had caught a crew that was filming another crew filming the freaking video of the dude falling out and the whole setup and the stage or whatever. And I think that they put, now maybe it was just to get, I mean they did in essence get the videos to get the rest of the world to manifest that level of fear, because we didn't know at the time when those videos, we didn't have hard data from our own, not that we can trust.
We was duped, but this goes back to square one. I talk about this on when I used to do Facebook on live a long time ago, because I don't even do Facebook live no more. I just do it on Telegram and do a drop off because ain't no point.
Right.
But going back to that bullshit, the face mask was bullshit from the beginning because it told you on the box it didn't even protect against this shit.
Right.
So what the fuck you been wearing it for? A lot of people been following nonsense from the beginning, because they've been in fear, which means when you're in fear, you have no common sense. So,
Yeah, anything that they think anything that could possibly, maybe this will help even a little bit, then I should just jump on board. Like they were just that afraid.
Yep, and they got us because people was simply afraid. Ain't shit out here. I've been saying this when I was still at Scott House, and I did that live, and I told everybody that it wasn't shit out here because we wasn't wearing no mask in no store. We wasn't getting sick. This all bullshit. We've been duped. And what they've been doing, they've been taking our rights away. Look what they're doing in Australia. They're trying to, enslave the Australians. And I talked about the fact that area
coming after our children.
is a sacral chakra. So they're trying to sap the will of humanity, but we just give up. That might explain why it's been so hard for people to take the mask off, because they ain't got no will to take the mask off. They think they supposed to obey because that's their programming,
right?
And that's how they got us. They got us in this bullshit, and now they made it a fashion statement to wear the fucking designer mask they got with the glitter and shit on it and all the other stuff.
Right.
Oh
Light
man,
up
I can't. When I see that, I just can't.
But to your topic of parallel reality, yes. If you study quantum physics, yes, you're gonna find out that that's what's happening, because you understand the double slit experiment, where the electrons seem to go through both slits, but the theory is that becomes the many world hypothesis, where the other possibility the electron goes isn't they creates another universe or another timeline. So it's absolutely parallel reality. The Mandela effects are real.
Oh, I believe that.
Oh yeah, 100%. The question begs, like, what exactly is causing them? We have theories, right? But
and you got CERN, you got our consciousness. We not because what I was thinking, one of my theories when I was saying this on Facebook when this started happening, is I was thinking that maybe it's like the people that's having these selfish desired timelines where they just thinking about themselves the most, that's not related to service to others, is like it's being pushed away and become on a tree where the branch died and it don't grow no more, those dead end timelines, because it's not with the the unity. It's not with unity. And I was thinking that might what was causing the Mandela effects, but we got this temple war going on, and so it's a lot of things seem to be causing the Mandela effects. And we don't understand if we even on a victory timeline, we don't even know what it looked like. We don't know if because we finding all these clues in the movies that seem to be breadcrumbs by I guess the Alliance, the good ETs, because we find all these clues in the movies, and we've been talking about on the round table, breaking it down, and we finding that look at what's happening. I mean, look at this Biden thing. I think this Biden thing is the Alliance demolition, the Biden administration to expose the cabal to the people, to show how bad this motherfucker is that did not get 80 million votes. And that's a lie, because he ain't even fill in the goddamn stadium, so that's all bullshit. So they sitting here, I think they doing all this ridiculous stuff you seeing with Biden. I think this is all engineered by the Alliance, to sit here and expose the cabal, because Biden is connected to the cabal. So you destroy his administration, expose all their corruption, the cabal gonna get exposed. That's what I think what they're doing.
Yeah, they're going all in with him in office too, boy. They are good. The NWO is going all in, dude. Like, they don't even try to hide it anymore. Like, we're just gonna screw you guys, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. Ha! Like, that's really where they're going with it now. It's crazy.
Look, like what's in the shots. You got these fucking creatures in the shots. And look, the only one that says something about what's in these shots is Elena Denine. Talked about that this is some Orion group Nebu technology, and that's what the fuck it looks like.
Right.
And Corey ain't said shit.
I thought it was interesting what you said.
Things is. Yeah,
you messaged me the other day and was talking about the black-eyed kids. So you were saying that maybe, right? That maybe that you know what, that made sense to me. Tell Foyle what you told me. That made sense to me, because that's what their eyes look like, right? But and they can switch between a gray and a tall white. Good. I'll let Jermaine tell you real quick, and then we'll close the show, guys. The tall whites.
Is in Elena book with the three white lights and the red light in the middle is the Killy Tucker. They the ones been working with the Air Force, giving them technology, but they didn't give them technology to go like out of the solar system. They only can travel in the solar system. So you say you want to think in terms of Star Trek, which is about to be our future anyway. They had sublight engines, but they didn't have warp engines.
Right.
The Air Force didn't get warp engines from the Killy Tucker, the Orion group, and they all worked together, Draco. So the Navy, of course, they've been working with this Federation, these good ETs. That's our family. We connected through our bloodlines. That's our real family through the blood types. So there's a lot to learn because there's a lot going on. So parallel reality just complicate things.
So those ETs, I can't say their name right, but they would, but what we've heard of as the tall whites. Okay.
Yeah, they've got Tucker. Yeah, they call it Killy Tucker. That's the ET name, because Elena, she said that the names that the Greeks and the Latin names, ETs won't name their systems or their planets that. So the name she getting is the real names. And one thing, let me mention about Megan Rowe's book. She said that, and she said this on an interview, because I ordered a book and it's on the way. But she said that Q, the whole Q operation, the Federation is behind that. You know, which I probably been suspecting because Casimir been saying Pleiadians was on the Q thing. And I don't know, I should say Q on YouTube.
It's okay, Jermaine. We expected you to break every rule there was to break while you were
it's all right.
on air.
Say what you want to say, man.
You didn't let us down, Jermaine. Thank you. You didn't let us down one bit. Hey, we're going to go ahead and close the show, but please let everybody know where they can find you, what platforms you're on, and yeah.
Okay. I'm still on Facebook, just, until that they blow themselves up or whatever, or wipe out or die off because people are leaving. But I'm mainly on Telegram, in my Telegram group called the Consciousness War, where I do, and I'm gonna do one tonight if you want to be on the round table where we talk about different topics. Like,
I'm gonna come join
drop
soon.
the link right now.
I'm gonna come join soon. I promise. So, what do you type in to find you on Telegram, and what do you type in to find you on Facebook? Because Jermaine's had about 5,000 accounts. He goes hard. He
all right. I
he
just
goes
dropped
super hard.
his link to Telegram in the YouTube chat, and I will drop it in the Foxhole chat
right,
now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, but my name is Reverend Rising on Facebook. That's why I go back, because they deleted I had a second account which was my name, but I can't get in there because they locked me out. The Archons, AI.
Right.
They're always messing with us, man.
Yeah, they're always on us too, man.
Damn Archons.
Yep.
The struggle is real.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jermaine, it was an absolute pleasure having you call in. It was great to hear from you, and I promise I will come join your roundtable soon. That would be a lot of fun. I gotta go do that soon, so I will make my way over there.
It was nice talking with y'all. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for calling in, sharing your insights. Disclosure warrior. Yeah, man. All right. Okay.
Much love to you.
Have a wonderful day, Jermaine. All right, bye.
Y'all too. See ya.
Yeah, man. Jermaine's one of my favorite people, if you can't tell.
Right.
What's
great.
not to like about Jermaine? He's great.
Right,
All of our
great.
callers were great today. This is a fun show. Yeah, this is a great topic, actually. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun, you guys. What do I need to cover real quick before we close the show? Let me get the lemons and the scratch off out of here. Is Scott still live doing the Rittenhouse thing right now?
I don't know. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And it's 4:04, so we should hurry. We got till 5 o'clock, I reckon.
What, to get over the thing? Yeah. Okay. I'm working on it right now, with the quickness. Let's get out of here. All right. There goes your chest. There goes the lemons over on D Live, you guys. Go and collect your rewards. And let me drop the scratching over on the Foxhole. It looks like TikToks is live. BrainPod, Woke Societies, Axe Truth, Singing Pretty, Amy Joe, 412, Based Amy are all live over there on the Foxhole right now. So definitely go and say hello. Tell them that Conspiracy Couch sent you. Let's see. Release scratch offs. There you go, guys. There's your scratching. Scratching is out the door. What else? What else do I need to cover real quick? So speaking about meetups, let me just cover that real quick. And then speaking about meetups, so the next one, like I said a little bit earlier in the show, is at Cantina 76 in Greenville, South Carolina, 1 p.m. That's a Foxhole meetup. Please get a hold of me or Foil, Rise, Max, First Branch, any one of us. You can DM us on Pilled or Discord, wherever you can find us, if you want to attend that. Also, White Hat, he will be doing a meetup at Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga, Tennessee, April 8th through the 10th. He will announce over on his channel the rest, like the itinerary and that stuff, somewhere down the line a little bit when he's aware of that. What do you got going on, Foil?
Tomorrow night, we're going to definitely, for sure, this time, talk about cognitive warfare. NATO's documents, it's creepy shit. Come hang out, 9 o'clock on my channel. Which, if you haven't gone to follow, I don't know what you're doing with your life, man. Just saying.
Right. Yeah, big thank you to the mods. Thank you for all your help, you guys. You guys are awesome. Yeah, today was a fun show. I had a lot of fun with you guys today.
Yeah, buddy.
This is great. I'm so glad everything's working now, and you know, this is exciting. I will be on with Brooks Agnew on his show. I don't remember exactly what time his show goes on, but
Wednesday
it's like
at 8, I think.
At 8 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I will be on with Brooks Agnew. I believe he's on the Foxhole, all the same platforms that we're on, YouTube, all of those. So I'll be on with him at 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Other than that, we will see you guys next for Space Force News on Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And on that note, have a wonderful evening.